Alright, I just started recording.
Welcome to the podcast. This is I don't remember the name.
This is, yeah, I think a better question is like, this is my house that got converted into a basement. Uh,
Oh,
this
really?
is, yeah, this is our show, and we have bad audio. God, that
Yes, we
was,
do. It's
God, that
horrible.
was corny.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's bad, but it'll work, I
Yes.
guess.
This is my room. We
I've
got a little
actually never seen it.
Squidward action.
I've actually never seen the,
Yes, I still got that. Yeah, I
oh,
still got that decorated. It's gonna turn into a game room
nice.
or the so-called man caves.
Yeah, this is actually what my wife calls a toy room, and this is basically where I keep all my comics, my books, my manga, like my games, and like all this stuff, and just collectibles and all that stuff. My bookshelf, like school books, are actually all up here, and like awards that I've gotten. And this is like my workbench. It used to be a writer's desk that I converted into a workbench. So yeah,
Oh, really? Is that a writing desk?
yeah, it's a writing desk. So it opens up like that. It does like one of those.
I'm telling you, this sounds weird, but I was literally walking my dog. Same exact writing desk was on the street.
You gotta get one of them.
I don't want.
No, they're like I
I
don't know
was
what it is.
I was gonna load it up. But the thing is, the top was coming off and it wasn't glued right, so
Mm.
I just left it there.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it though. I mean honestly, I bought this one from Savers for like $14. It was worth every penny.
$14?
I bought it at Savers for $14. It was originally 25, but it was on sale that day, and I got it for $14. The only hard part was that it was like 3 towns over, so I had to get my friend's truck. I had to get my friend and borrow my work truck, and then go pick it up
You can sell that for 400 now.
easily, easily. But I shut out with that.
Yeah,
I'll shut out with
yeah,
that
that's why
completely.
you rent it. I would have gotten it from 5 towns over if I had your
Yeah,
car.
yeah. Uh, so are we gonna be like one of those corny guys who say like, "Are we gonna address the elephant in the room?" But no.
Yes, but I would like that for at least a few episodes.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Like I said, I want to do a few episodes that are like. You ever seen Red Letter Media where they're just on the nose? Oh my god, I gotta show you some videos. They are the
we've talked
best.
about it before, and the best part, I never checked it out. I never like looked into it.
Why?
Yeah, no, I
Why?
know.
Like
You
you?
said like I know it. No, I know it's good because you're not the first person to tell me about it. So I'm just like I know it has to be good because like everybody's telling me about it.
Well, one of my friends didn't even get it. I didn't even talk about it. Then I showed her it, and she was dying laughing.
Nice, I like that.
hmm And he said something great. Like he's an older dude. I forget his name, but he said we want nowadays everyone we want to have the kids chase what we liked as a kid.
Mm,
That's why there's so much resurgence of like the Transformers, the Ninja Turtles. Well, Ninja Turtles are great,
for
but
sure.
like all the other stuff, like there's like yeah, Michael Bay comes with like Ninja Turtles and Transformers. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like a weird wrestling movie that has like action movie, like you have superpowers pretty soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a show. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
No, no. I mean, like, also, like, I think when I say elephants, I think it go without saying that, like, since last time we've done something like this, and last time, like, I've
Yeah.
spoke to you, it's funny because, like, my wrestling knowledge has gotten better, and
Mine too.
I mean, my wrestling knowledge has gotten better, but I mean, like, there was a kind of like a stream of like my lifespan where it was like all I did was watch wrestling, like nothing else, and so I kind of like put myself in a corner where it was like I didn't watch particularly anything else, or read about anything else, or listen to anything else. If that makes any sense. And
Oh, yeah,
so
I was that way too.
yeah, and I realize now in this whole like last, geez, how long has it been? Thinking how long has it actually been since we last like did a podcast together?
I don't remember. I deleted everything.
Yeah, I did too. So I don't feel bad. I have like the older video. I have an older video somewhere in my email address that I saved as an audio as like a video file, and I'm like, I'll look at it
It was
someday.
fun. It was fun. It was fun. I can't lie.
Yeah,
That's
I
why I
mean,
missed doing it.
no, I feel like it's one of those things like okay, it was 10 years ago, but really it was like five.
Yeah, I
No, it
think it was
couldn't.
about
No,
5.
no, it couldn't have been five because 5 years ago was 2019. It was not 2019. It was like 2017 maybe or
Yeah,
2016.
maybe.
or 2016. I don't fucking know.
I really don't. I just everything's a blur. To be honest
Yeah,
with you,
you know,
all I
since
remember is saying to you, "Hey, you guys want to make a podcast?" We made the podcast, and everyone went crazy.
yeah, I mean, that's it's kind of accurate. Believe it or not, that's pretty damn accurate.
That's all I remember from that time. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
too chaotic.
yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny because like I look back at that era of my life and I was just like, wow, artistically, I was like really doing a lot in terms of content, in terms of like making stuff and meeting people and talking to people and like talking and having serious conversation.
We had some good ideas that actually started. Everyone else did. I was actually talking about like SCPs and all that stuff.
Mm.
I wanted to do that with you. Then we had it going, and then after it was all gone, it started popping up.
Yeah, I
So
mean, like I think more than anything else, I think like I don't want to say the conversation in a whole totally different direction, but I think that like there was a time period where it was just like it was not about quality, but it was about quantity, and then like that
mhm.
was like I hate to sound old and dated or like crazy, but like that was old YouTube. New YouTube was like quality over
Commentary.
quantity. It's no, it's not even about like commentary. It's more about like
Oh yeah,
I remember the good old days of YouTube where it was just like the videos don't have to be that high quality as long as like you're just making a lot of videos every day of the week,
yeah, yeah. I
every day of the
remember
week and every year like you have like a certain cap of like I made a
that.
thousand videos in 1 year or something like that.
Yeah, mm,
And like in
yeah.
the back of my skull, like I look at all the older YouTubers that I used to watch, and I look at like modern YouTubers now, where it's just like, oh, we're releasing a video every 2 weeks, but we're making 7 days worth of content, and so on and so forth. But then like the big videos are coming out like once a month, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah,
like
yeah. You like down the rabbit hole.
exactly,
They're a
yeah,
great YouTube.
yeah. I mean, like I
Oh
think,
yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I think I've been meaning to get this off my chest for a while, and I know like I mean, this is like I don't know if this is fourth wall breaking for like the situation at hand, but you know, that time period of my life was interesting because again, I think I just said
Yeah.
it best. Like I was doing a lot, and a lot of that was not good, and some of it was good, and I was doing some really great. I was doing like really great stuff. I mean, the podcast was probably the best thing I did in that time period of my
Yeah.
life, and I took a lot of responsibility for the fact that I think I ruined it, which I still
No.
do take. I no like, just let me get it off my chest at least. Like,
Sorry. Sorry.
but like, not it's alright. I took a lot of responsibility for like the fact that I ruined it because like I needed friends and I needed an outlet and I needed some sort of like thing to get my mind off of the other things that were happening around me. Like my
Yeah.
family situation was not good and it hadn't been good for a long time and my relationship with myself and my relationship with the girls I was talking to was not good at all and you know
Mhm.
if we're being brutally honest and I don't know if this is gonna get taken down after this but I mean obviously drugs played a big part of it and I wasn't smoking crack obviously but I was definitely I mean, I wasn't smoking crack, obviously, but I mean, like, I had crackhead energy, as I like to say it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about.
yeah, but, like, it's just one of those situations where I was, like, I had sat there for a long time and I was just, like, really doing, like, the most when I didn't need to do the most. And I needed to just, like, really foster and do it. And, like, I feel like once it actually ended for me, like, once I was done doing the podcast, I felt like that should have been the part of the story where it's just like I turned it around and I found $1 billion and I married the woman of my dreams and I started an upstart company that
Mm,
cures the cancer. No, that's not what happened. It was the exact opposite. I went downer and
really.
yeah, I went downer and like it got a lot downer and I think you guys were still talking to me to some capacity. But
Yeah. Somewhat.
yeah, I mean you guys were still talking to me to some capacity and like it wasn't good the things I did after the fact, and by all means, and like maybe that's a different story for a different day. But like I still think about it, and I still am not proud of those moments and like where I was at, and finding out the stuff I found out later on like didn't make it any better. But like what I learned very quickly was that like I look back at that era of my life and I ask myself like okay like how did I before I stopped doing drugs, like before I stopped and became more responsible or completely stopped doing other things, right? Like I think about like how did I do such awesome stuff like in the last 5 years, especially like 5.5, 6 years, especially, right? Like I'm sitting here and I'm
Mm,
just like I went to school I got
Mhm.
myself into like 2, maybe even 3 really good apartments. I found some really amazing women, and I dated them, and I was loyal. I was loyal to some capacity, and I was still learning stuff. But then I got broken up with, and I learned how to be loyal to myself and loyal to my friends and loyal to like everybody else. And like it wasn't like it happened once and then that was it. It was over and I figured it out. But like no, it took a few tries for me to actually get it right. It's about like how to be a good friend and how to be good to my family and how to be good to myself more or less than anything else. Because I feel like I went the opposite way. I didn't learn how to be good to myself until I learned how to be good to everybody else. And
Mhm.
you know, I feel like this is gonna sound very 12-steppy, but you know, between going to church, going to therapy, going to Al-Anon,
Mhm.
meditating, reading, being artistic, getting a really good job, going to school, and like the last 5 years, like I learned more. I learned more about like what it actually means to like do this thing called life the right way. And I learned very quickly that there is no actual right linear path about like I'm gonna figure this out and it's gonna be done. Like it's not gonna happen that way. I
Mhm.
learned that very quickly. And like you can call it a vibe, you can call it the spirit, you can call it the energy, you can call it God, you can call it the cosmos, you can call it anything. But in the back of my skull, like I just needed to learn how to actually just be a better person, and I feel like I've done that. I'm not sitting here and acting like I'm a saint now and I've done everything right because I know I'm still prone to making mistakes and making problems and making things happen and making people uncomfortable and being a dick. But it's not about being that person 24 hours a day. It's about being that person maybe for 15 to 20 minutes a day, I think.
Yes.
And that's totally fine. But I feel like I owe you. I feel like I owe you an apology, and I owe everybody else an apology. But that's just my take on it. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you kind of sound like you're in the cup right now. Like you sound like
What?
oh, it's
Oh,
just
I'm
better.
sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
No, it's all right. It's like a time, no rush.
I think I was doing this.
We have testicular difficulties. It's fine, guys. I hear something buzzing on my
Okay.
end. No,
Something I hear was not. Yeah. I'm so glad.
no, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay, so, oh
That's
my
better.
god.
That's better.
So again, you said you were sorry. I'm sorry to say this, but we were all assholes. I'm sorry to tell you this, man. We were, how's the word? We were young, and we all wanted to do something that made us feel better.
Yeah,
Okay, you thought you were doing your thing, and you hurt people, but in the end, it's nothing because you're still alive, and you're still trying to do better. What you did back then is what you wanted to do, and you're doing this now.
yeah,
Okay? You don't have to worry about that. Same way for me. I'm sorry for what I did to you, but in the end, me and you are still making a podcast, and we're happy about it.
yeah. I mean, I think that was the keynote. The keynote of what you said was just like, yeah, I guess we all were kind of dicks, and we all kind of fell short of grace in
Yeah.
some capacity. But the thing was, like, when I look back at it, like, I gotta tell you the truth, like, the thought came like a whirl, like in waves every now and then, because people who knew me from the podcast asked me, "Are you ever gonna do it again?" People who knew me from the podcast asked me, "Are you ever gonna do it again?" And I always
Mhm.
answered with a very crisp no. And that was not because like okay, like all right, it was like oh the PTSD or oh like the trauma or anything like that.
Yeah.
There was a genuine fear of me doing it again and screwing it up again, and there was also that genuineness of like I don't think I'm actually
I'm,
genuinely yeah good.
I'm gonna interrupt you. You didn't screw up anything. We all could have done something to fix everything involved in that while you were doing your thing about spiraling down and facing your demons.
Yeah,
We didn't have to hold it against you because we were being selfish too.
yeah, but I mean you know, and I agree with that. I do, and I think that there's just like that level of like for so many years I told myself like I'm talking like teenage years and then when I got to my 20s I realized it wasn't the same. But
Mhm.
it was like, oh, I've always gotten pushed out. I never pushed anyone out. But then I realized like I feel like sometimes people are in situations where it's like you didn't. It's not so much that you got pushed that you pushed them out, but you were
Yeah.
slightly pushing them, and then they just shoved you pretty damn good to get you out of there. So I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened with you guys, but I'm not saying that's
I
what
don't
happened.
know what to do with you.
Huh?
I think everybody was just rubbing each other's shoulders the wrong way while trying to. you know, be happy, and we just didn't understand ourselves.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. And also, like, I think you could, I don't know if you could agree with me, but since then I've lived a lot of this thing called life.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I
life,
have.
life was pretty interesting after the fact. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I also just took a hiatus from just posting anything on Instagram and posting anything on social media for like a long time,
I,
especially when the
I
pandemic
have
came.
4 posts.
Huh?
All I do, I have 4 posts, and all I post is memes about Pokemon and fighting
Yeah.
games.
I mean, that's my point. Like, I feel like I went from like making content like literally every day, maybe even like a few times a day, to like making
Hmm.
zero content and making zero posts and adding zero things to the story. But
Hmm.
in the back of my skull, and this is gonna sound kind of crap. This is gonna sound kind of shitty, but like it felt like I was getting to that age where I was like, yeah, I have to work for a living and I have to actually do this. I have to try this thing called school. I need to actually devise a safety net just in case if I do chase anything else, I could fall back on this.
I just literally started filming that about 3 to 4 years ago.
Yeah, so I
So
mean, yeah, I mean, like, look, I mean, the pandemic. We're not gonna make this about the COVID. I'm not gonna have the COVID-19 conversation because it's not worth
no,
the time
I'm
or
good.
place. But I will say that the pandemic definitely didn't help. What the hell I
Nah.
was going through because it was like 2019. I was finally out on my own. And I was doing my thing, and like things were terrible, but like at least I was figuring stuff out. But
Yeah, I just lost a few people in my life before it even hit.
yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like I got to the truth. I was completely disconnected from my family, and like I lost two of my uncles and one of my grandfathers, and I
Uh,
lost contact with them when I was the caretaker of for a long time, and like it it stung for by all means, but like it took a long time, and I mean I think I've been negative for like the last few minutes, but I'm gonna be just really honest with you. Like
it's fine.
I've been like I've been seeing I have finally like a relationship with my family. I have a good
Hmm.
relationship with my
Yeah,
wife. I got engaged, and like
good. Congratulations.
yeah, I
I
got
heard you did,
engaged.
but
No, I know, but
congratulations.
like yeah, thank you. I'm doing good. I'm in college. I'm I have
Good.
a really kick-ass job. But for the sake of
Good.
ambiguity, I'm not gonna say like what it is I'm going to school for, what I'm going like to what I'm
Um,
working at. But like,
yeah.
I think school and work definitely changed a lot of my character, and I built up a lot of my character, of who I was as a person, and
Hmm.
getting dead end jobs, and also getting fired, and then also uh, getting hired at really amazing places, but also putting my putting my nose to the grindstone and doing all the work related stuff and doing
Yeah.
all the school related stuff definitely built up the person I was going to become.
Good.
And then I guess on a good note is just like I'm with my fiance now, and I don't know, the relationships with my friends have gotten better, the relationships with my family's gotten better, the relationship with myself and like the things that I do, like my hobbies and everything else has gotten better. I mean, healthier. And
Good.
I gotta tell you the truth. It went from like I completely stopped doing said substances to like
Good.
I'm gonna dabble in the substances but not get addicted versus like I got addicted again. Then that whole Mod Podge of it versus like I completely stopped smoking weed. I completely stopped doing other drugs. I completely stopped like my food
Great.
addiction. I completely stopped my food addiction. I completely like crashed everything that I ate into, and like I just watched how much
Mhm.
caffeine I was drinking, how many cigarettes I was smoking, and like I went through all this like process and stuff like that, right? And like just to come to the end of it and be like, wow, I actually don't know how I really feel about this whole entire sober living thing. But I learned that like, okay, I'm not gonna go back to old habits. But like, if somebody offers me a glass, if someone offers me a beer at a party, I'm gonna take it. But
Yeah,
we're not
it's
gonna kill the case
good.
while we're at the party. If you know what I mean.
Hmm.
We're
I
gonna drink.
understand.
We're gonna drink and enjoy this. You know what I mean. So
Yeah, as long as you can control what you do and how you do it, and it doesn't hurt
yeah,
nobody around you or yourself, that's fine.
yeah, and I mean like I think to kind of like not steer in a different direction, but I will say is this like a big thing I was afraid of was like
Hmm.
the personality aspect of like doing drugs is kind of crazy because it's like this is who I am. This can't be anything else. But then things start to like change a little bit like that. Because then like okay,
I
part of your personality changes, then part of like your relationships change, and then part of like where you're going is changing, and part of the things you're doing are changing. So it's like this is
yeah,
you, but also you're going off in like five different directions. If that makes any sense. So it's weird.
that does make a lot of sense
So
about
it's like
that.
weird. So it's like how am I gonna be good in school if I don't smoke before I do homework? then the reality strikes you like, wait, you were actually the one doing the homework. You could have did anything else while you're smoking instead weed. So, just
Oh, I
saying,
understand.
you could have got blitzed.
I
You could
think
have got blitzed.
transformation.
I mean, like, no, you could have got blitzed and did like hot and did the exact opposite of everything you did. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how that works, but still. But I mean, also, I guess like lastly, just to put it, and I guess we can talk about like how you've been. Is like, I guess the last thing I want to say is just like, I'm really glad I'm doing this, and I'm really happy I'm here, and like I'm happy I survived long enough to get to this day again. But also,
Good. Good.
like
Sorry,
I
I think
also I want to do this the right way. I want to keep doing this the right way.
Very.
It's alright. So how you been?
I've been doing good. I've been living life also. Lost a loved one. Just trying to figure out what to say, to be honest with you. I started school. I realized that I need to live a life, and I felt like doing this.
What does living life mean to you now at this point?
Living life, oh dude, it's just trying to survive and be happy about it.
I like that.
It just came out of my head. To be honest with you, I just made that up, but it kind of makes sense.
It does. It does.
'Cause I just want to be happy while I'm, trying to pay a bill still.
You know, you bring up a good point about like you could actually still be happy and still be struggling.
Yeah, right now I'm pretty happy. I'm actually deciding what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to school for once in my life that I've been trying to do since I became a gypsy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I've been trying to live my own life, and it's finally happening. But that's because at a major cost to me, though.
How has the culture? No, not with obviously sharing what like you're comfortable with. How has the culture received you doing the things you've been doing? Because I think you
I
already
can
know
get
how I was received, but
yeah. Don't get me started on the culture. I have a lot of critiques, but
yeah,
I'm happy with it. I love being who I am,
yeah,
and it's changing. I see everyone who's probably watching and having a dream. If they're going to watch us, that means that they believe in us.
I agree. Do you think?
Yeah, I just want.
Did you ever see it? Do you think that? Do you think that in the future your children will like? Do you think your children will appreciate? This is like a really epic question, so forgive me if this is like way too heavy.
Oh, that's okay. Go
But
for it.
do you think your children actually will appreciate the fact that like you didn't follow the social norms?
Hope so. 'Cause that's the reason I'm doing it, to make them happy.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah,
I'm new to this question. Sorry, hopefully my dad or something.
it's alright. I think we should also.
Yeah.
I think we should also like. I think the big thing for me. I love what I just said. That's the best thing I ever said. I want to quote that somewhere. I think what I think. Yes.
That
But
makes sense. You think that's what you think.
yes, but no. What I'm trying to say is the big thing for me is just like now that we have the platform and
Mhm.
and like now that we have like the lifestyle and we have the connections and the friends we've made along the way.
Yes.
I think the big thing and the next thing now is like just not be stingy with the stage and just actually get people in, get people on, get people out there,
Hell
but
yeah.
not be inclusive
Hell yeah.
but not be inclusive to one group or one people and just see it's like literally to quote my favorite anime of all time and one of the best books of all time. It's all for one and one for all. So
Okay.
and just see where it goes. I mean, because the reason why I asked you the question about like, do you think your kids will appreciate you not following the social norms? You had probably the best answer, but I don't know. Like, with saying like, I hope, because the thing is, all you can really do is hope. Because like, even if I look back at like when I was a child and you would have told me half the stuff I did at this point in my life, I appreciate it. I appreciate it now. But like, I know my younger cousins and like my nieces and nephews, they'll probably look at this and go like, wow, he actually made it work.
Mhm.
Despite all the stuff that made it not that despite all the stuff that made it so it should not have worked. Does it make sense?
Oh yeah. I still have dreams. I still want to be an animator.
You still want to be an animator?
Hell yeah. Why not?
We had the anime conversation already, but when I
Yeah.
first met you, you recommended My Hero Academia, and it took me 4 years to actually watch it.
Damn, I'm still on season 3, so don't worry about that. I need to watch it all.
I'm getting to the end of season 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to rewatch it because I was just like, wow, I actually zoned out half the stuff that happened. There's like stuff in season 2 and season 3 that I'm like, wait, that actually happened? Like, wait, I thought that was like a grapevine thing. I thought someone was giving me inside leaks for like newer seasons, but then I was like, no, this actually is right in front of me.
Yeah, I need to watch it. It just I just like want to watch it. I gotta finish everything I stopped.
Yeah.
Can't fix my hair. But yeah, I would really like to get into more anime. Right, I was watching Chainsaw Man. So good.
I watched the first like 2 or 3 episodes, and I don't know, I kind of just like blanked out. I think I fell asleep on one of the episodes, and I was like, alright, I'll get back to it. But the list of things to watch is like this big, and the time to watch it is like that much.
Oh, I know, bro. I don't want to stop at one episode because
Yeah,
what's the point when I need more?
yeah, I feel like I just got to do the thing that every other middle-aged person is doing, and just watch as much as I possibly can in one sitting, and then just watch the
And
rest of it in the
fall
second
asleep.
sitting. Oh, what was that?
Or then fall asleep and sit, ask where you were. That's what I do.
I mean, that's true too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like there's some good anime right now. I'm still trying to watch One Piece, and I've been trying to watch it since I was like 13.
I mean,
So,
jeez, remember the 4 Kids One Piece?
oh, I love that one. The
Yeah.
rap is still the best. Daigo, Daigo,
Yeah.
oh, his
That's
name is Luffy. Yeah, love to do that.
set sail for One Piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I gotta.
hopefully, I can love it.
I gotta tell you. That number keeps going up. It's just like, okay, maybe this will be the year I watch One Piece, but the number just always triples by the time I say that.
Yeah, but Charlie said he really likes it, and he's like in the middle of it, and he's like really it's one of his favorites. Penguin Z.
Yeah. I mean, my friend Cedric, he would watch it in front of me, and he would explain it to me, and I feel like I know what One Piece is and what's going on, just by
Yeah.
me talking to people without physically watching the show, which makes literally no sense.
Well, I'm glad you're friends with Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes, Cedric the Entertainer. He's never heard that before, especially as a black man.
Oh, I did not know that. Accidental.
There's only one white Cedric, and his last name is Diggory, and he died.
Sorry, Cedric. I did not know that.
No, there's
Yeah.
only no. I'm saying like no. Cedric Diggory is from like the Harry Potter books.
Oh!
My friend Cedric is still alive and well, and actually is thriving. I'm very proud of him.
I walked into a room and watched a Harry Potter movie. That's how I watched all 7 of them. Or 9. I don't know how many are there, but I've watched them.
Do you ever like? Wait, do you ever, like you talk about how you walked in a room and like you watched it by accident, right?
Yeah, I was at school, and I was in my book, and Harry Potter was on, and I sat down, and 2 hours later I was outside. I don't remember the movie. I think they were in the... one guy turned into a shark. The Goblet of Fire.
That's my favorite Harry Potter movie. That's actually my favorite Harry Potter. It's actually.
Harry, did you put the thing in the fire?
Harry Potter! Harry Potter!
Yeah, they're remaking it, and... What?
I think my charger just fell out. No, it's in.
Oh, okay, like, they're remaking it, and I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it just because I hear the cliche thing every single time. I'm old enough to say this now. Because it's like, oh, we're remaking it, but this time we're gonna add things that they didn't add before. And I'm like
a black guy. Okay,
like a
look.
black man.
I know he's a great actor. The guy who's playing Snape, but why couldn't they just get Childish Gambino and just roll with the joke?
Oh my god, that would have been phenomenal.
As Snape, come on, he would have done great.
No, you know they should have.
Harry Potter. No, sorry, I was doing Dumbledore again. I don't remember Snape. I just know he's the one. I don't remember how he goes. Harry Potter. No, I'm doing Dumbledore.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Potter. I can't sound like him. I'm not gonna try. So
Harry
I'm
Potter.
done.
No, it's like
there you go.
it's like Harry Potter. Turn the page to
in 1849.
You've made a lot of older women very happy, especially the one that's married to his ghost.
No, don't say that. Yo,
I'm saying it.
wait, hold on. What's that movie? Love Actually. You know Snape's in that movie, and like I have to remind myself, like this man actually had a career outside of like the Harry Potter movies.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you see him in Dogma? I think he's in
Yeah,
Dogma.
yeah, he's in Dogma. That's right. I actually totally forgot about that. He's in Dogma. Doesn't he play like an
An
archangel or
Angel.
something? Is he like an archangel or something?
Yeah, I think Dogma's one of the best movies out there.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
No, it's on Hayek.
D- there's a story about Dogma that I've always found really impressive, and like, look, God forgive me if I'm saying anything wrong, but like, I really do appreciate this just because of how sheer the sheer insanity of like just saying it out loud is. So, Kevin
I'm
Smith,
gonna bite my tongue.
huh?
I'm gonna bite my tongue on him being right about everything, though.
But like, no, but like, hear me out, Rich. Because like, Kevin Smith did a stand-up special, and it was on Netflix, right? And he talked, and you know how Kevin Smith is. If anybody who's listening to this doesn't know who Kevin Smith is or has heard any of his
Yeah.
podcasts or stuff, I'm telling you right now, he is the Bruce Springsteen of like media, because he just keeps going and going and going. You just gotta hope and pray he either stops or not. Because I seen him live once and it was incredible, and like just hearing him speak. But like when we started, huh?
Which movie?
So I'm getting sidetracked with like a few things, right? I saw Kevin Smith live once because they did a showing.
Okay.
I saw Kevin Smith live once. They did a showing of Clerks 3 at the Wilbur in Boston.
Okay,
And
cool. I didn't hear that part.
Kevin Smith was there, and the guy who played Randall was actually there. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they were there.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith talked for 5 hours straight, just one man. Now, here's the
Oh,
thing.
Lord.
I didn't stay the whole 5 hours. Me and my friend Eddie hung out for 2, and then I was like, Eddie, we're going to miss the last train. I do not want to get stuck in Boston. Like, it was getting to that point. Like, we were love tapping 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, Eddie, I can't get stuck in Boston for this event. Like, I love the guy. I could safely say I've seen him live, but I'm good.
5 hours?
Apparently, he was there, and he just kept talking about movies and comics and his experiences and stuff like that. But also, I hate to say what I'm going to say, because I only know this because it takes one to know one. He was high as shit.
That's why.
He was high as shit. He came out smelling like weed, and then he was smoking weed in the back, and then told us about it.
Oh yeah. He's a blunt man.
Yeah, but anyways, I got sidetracked. What I'm trying to say is like back, like many years ago, there was a Netflix special, right? And Kevin Smith it was like a stand-up special, right? But his stand-up special is like a little bit different because he just sits there and people just walk up to the microphone and ask him questions, right? And he just tells like long stories. He talks about the stuff, right?
Oh, okay, that's kind of.
Yeah, and someone asked him the question about like, oh, how did you receive Dogma? Like, how did you experience like the backlash, and like how did you experience like all that happened with Dogma? And he's like,
Backlash?
he did get backlash for it. Like, that was a really big thing. Like, the thing was the church was after him, and like the the church and everything was after him. Like, the movie producers and all the actors and actresses were after him. It was like a really weird period of time where you can do stuff.
Movie
like that.
producer?
No, it was a big thing because everybody identified as Christian back then or Catholic. So I mean, that's what they identified as now. Now they just identify as girls.
Oh,
yeah. Now they just identify as girls. So yeah. But anyways.
Whatever brought more money.
Exactly. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm going to say it one more time just in case we don't get canceled. But yeah, they used to identify as Christians and Catholics. Now they just identify as girls. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is like, Kevin Smith was like sitting there and he was like telling the story. He's just like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Me, my wife, and my brother, his brother was gay. He said we were sitting there one day and like there was like this big thing on the news. Like they were driving by and like there was this big thing on the news about like how one of their local movie theaters, there was people literally outside the movie theater with picket fences and signs saying like, not picket fences, but signs saying like, get this movie out of the theater, like, God hates Kevin Smith, God hates this, God hates that, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So Kevin Smith, being him and his brother and his wife made signs, and they went to go join them.
Oh yeah.
But here's what the part of the story that really gets me is that his brother's sitting there and he's just like, dude, what are we gonna do? And he's just like, I have an idea. Let's actually make signs like that go against what they're saying. So if they're saying like God hates this, or so on and so forth, like God hates gays, God hates this, God hates that. I might be getting the story mixed up because they might be talking about the St. Beryl Church, whatever the fuck it's called. the
Oh,
John St. Baptist Burial Church or something like that. I can't remember the name of it.
Baptist.
The
No, not
people, the
Baptist.
people who started, the people who started the whole signs and say like God hates this, God hates
Yeah,
that, like those people. I hate those
I
people.
know
First,
them. I
like
don't
first
want
and
to talk
foremost.
about. We don't need to mention them. I don't feel like
Yeah, no, but
we'll
you know what I'm
jinx them.
talking about. But anyways, there's this one part of that story that always got me, and like I'm always gonna relate to it. But his brother comes up to Kevin and he's like, Kevin, we need a sign that's gonna like stick out. We need a sign that's gonna like really mean something that's gonna like actually make an impact and people are gonna like notice it. And he looks at his brother and goes, "Dick tastes yummy." And they sit there and they look at each other and the whole crowd's laughing about this. But he's like, no, but listen, my brother sat there, put the glue, put the paper, put like big markers and did all this stuff, and he's just like, it's missing something. It's just I don't know what it is, but it's missing something. It needs something like more
They put a
better.
wiener, didn't
Like
they?
it needs something. No. It's even better than that. He grabbed a fistful.
Oh,
He grabbed a fistful of sparkles, and then he just splashed it all across the sign, and went, "It's finished."
oh,
And went, "It's finished." And then they went picketing. They went like sign. They went. And they held up the signs. And they went up against those people, and they went up against the people who were protesting against the film and stuff like that. Again, I'm getting the story mixed
yeah.
up or switched up somewhere in between, whatever. But like, I always think about that story. I'm just like, that's absolutely brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant.
I would do that too.
Like, what a rebel.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Yeah. What's your
Yeah, I
other
don't
favorite?
hate nobody. That's all I'm saying.
What's your other favorite Kevin Smith movie?
Clerks one. Clerks one.
Yeah, jeez. Have you seen 3?
Were they all in purple?
No, it's Clerks 2. Yeah, that's Clerks 2.
No, I didn't know three came out.
3. That's what I saw. That's what I saw at the Wilbur. 3 came out. It wasn't. I don't think it was like well. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't think it was well publicized.
I didn't know about it. I was waiting for it. To be
Yeah,
honest with you.
No, but Clerks 3 came out. That movie was different. I don't
Did you
want
watch
to
the cartoon?
No, I didn't actually.
It,
It was on Adult Swim, right?
no, it's on Comedy Central. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if he did it. I don't know. It was supposed to be very satirical about it, and they had to change it a lot. So it's good and bad at the same time.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, it's fun, but I can't really explain it. It's like it's there, but it's not there.
It's not like groundbreaking. It's just there.
Yeah, you'll have to see it. You'll understand, but it's still good. But you're expecting something like magical and not like like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It's just a cartoon.
Did you watch? Did you watch the this is like a hell of a jump, but did you watch the Matrix anime?
Yeah, that freaked me out.
Yeah,
Wait, which one?
Yeah, I watched that when I was like probably like.
The
I was,
animated.
like, I think I was like 5 or 6 years old when I watched that.
The Animatrix.
Yeah, the Animatrix. Like that was a wild ride. I remember the
Oh,
episode.
my
Wait,
Which one?
Do you remember the episode where there was no gravity?
Oh no, I picked. Sorry for stuttering, but I picked the one where they showed you the the first robot
Oh yeah,
to
that's
kill
right.
somebody. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
not
wild.
expecting my brain to show up,
Yeah.
and I'm still scarred from it.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
the anti gravity episode was just weird because I was just like mesmerized, but I was also like terrified at the same time because of how I wasn't. Look, I think you're gonna ruin me. My first exposure to anime was Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. So anything outside of that was like not normal to me. Like it was just like, what do you mean this is a serious animation?
Oh my god, it was beautiful. I'm telling you, I was a fan of The Matrix, and I want to watch more. So I got the shitty game. Dude, you should never play that.
The one on
And
Xbox?
I rented the Animatrix. Yeah, they had a shitty game with I forgot her name. Uh, they were just two side characters.
Wait,
I
talking
don't know.
Jada Pinkett Smith's character and the one guy in the
Yeah,
white.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the guy in
yeah.
the white. Yeah.
It was okay. The
Yeah.
kick was fun.
I mean, yeah, that was cool. I mean, no, my brother just played that game religiously, and I think the biggest thing for us was that, like, I think X Play. Do you remember X Play?
Yeah,
I think
fortunately.
X Play probably made the best comment. Like, if you there was a weird time. I think X Play made a really good comment, but now I'm looking back, this like happened in a lot of different games. The game they made a game based on the movie, but they didn't let you allow. They didn't allow you to play the characters that made the most sense to play as in those franchises until later on.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's any other games like that. To be honest with you,
The Incredibles game.
but
No, I'm serious. Like the movie The Incredibles.
yeah, I know. I didn't know they had that.
No,
They
there's
had
a
a
game.
game.
Okay, to be fair, I know what you're thinking. All right, because there's gonna be eagle-eyed people in this. There's gonna be eagle-eyed and eared people in this episode, right? What I will say is this: in the game, you could play as Mr. Incredible, Miss Elastic, Dash, and I think Violet. But everybody wanted to play as Jack, and they didn't give you that option. Or Frozo. Wait, did you play as Frozo? I don't even know anymore.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there were side characters people wanted to be, but no one got a chance to actually be the side characters, which is funny because it's like either people want to be the side characters or people want to be the main characters in those games. It never happens that way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love being the side character.
Amen.
All right, next comment.
What is all right? So we talked. We got like a few minutes left. I think we should. There's one thing I do want to talk about because you mentioned something a few minutes ago.
No, what?
You mentioned like things, like okay, not like let's not talk about like that time we saw our that time we saw like our relatives naked. I'm talking about like a piece of media that a piece of media that really freaked you out when you were a kid.
Man, that sounds good. Trying to think. There's been a few. Manticore? It's a YouTuber, but no. As a kid, just Animatrix one and Fritz the Cat.
Wait, really?
That I was a kid. And I didn't know what furries were.
Oh, okay, this is true.
So-
That movie was wild, to be honest with you.
But good. No, I'm joking.
I mean, no, yeah, shit. I mean, that's what you're wrong. I'm not gonna tell you, man. It happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What? There was no other weird movies that freaked me out.
I remember the first. I mean, I guess like while you marinated, I'm gonna tell you this. I remember the first death match I ever watched.
Go through yours. Let's hear yours.
What was that?
Let's hear your stuff. Because I'm trying to think.
Alright. The first hardcore death match thing I ever watched. I believe it was No Mercy 2004 Mick Foley versus Randy Orton.
Oh, that freaked you out?
No, I gotta tell you the truth. Like,
Oh.
I gotta tell you the truth. I watched that match and I was like a teenager, but I still watched that match and it still made me scream. It made me squeamish. Just
Oh,
watching
okay.
it just made me squeamish because like it was like the first time I ever seen like what people like seeing thumbtacks. It was the first time I ever seen like weapons and chairs and fire.
Oh,
Like everything you could possibly imagine. And, like not for nothing, but Mick was like selling hard that night, and Randy was like selling stiff, really hard that night.
oh.
So it was just crazy because like there's a point in that match where I'm genuinely curious as to what happened, but
Mhm.
Mick Foley and Randy, like Mick just threw Randy on top of like a bed of thumbtacks,
Yes.
and Randy's literally running up the ramp, and Mick Foley's
Mhm.
following him and he's like punching him up the ramp or whatever that, right?
Yeah.
And then they go behind the curtain, but then they come back out immediately. And so I'm very curious, like what happened in that moment when they went in behind, where the cameras didn't follow them, and then they came right round back because God only knows what actually happened. But Randy was like genuinely hurt, and he just came back and finished the match.
Oh, wow. God knows what happened. That must have
Yeah.
freaked you out as a kid.
Yeah, this is a twist. I was like 15, 16 when I watched that, maybe. And I was still
Damn.
freaked the hell out. I was genuinely like freaked out. I was like, oh God.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've never freaked out by hardcore matches or any of that kind of fighting.
Really?
Yeah, because I like fighting games. I like seeing impact and seeing how people can take it because it's an art form. But yeah, I used to get afraid of Tales from the Crypt.
That's a good, that's, yeah.
Oh no, not the shows, just the Crypt Keepers popping out and screaming at you.
Yeah. I'm guessing you were on the younger side when you watched that, right?
What?
Was you on the younger side when that happened, or?
What?
I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Was you on the younger side when you saw that?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you. I don't know why I went deaf. I was like 6.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was that good of a show. I really love the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
My family made fun of me all the time for it, but
You know, it was a cartoon.
my family made fun of me. I'll say it again. I blame my family.
Yeah, same. You know, it was a cartoon. You know, it was a Tales from the Crypt cartoon.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Can I tell you the truth? The first
The game show
episode.
was okay.
What was that?
The game show was okay.
I, I didn't know it was a game show.
Think of that temple game.
Oh, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, Legends of Hidden Temple. Yeah, just like that, but with a skeleton.
Huh.
I think there was like 6 episodes.
Jesus.
It was okay.
Oh,
I was into media. I just loved TV back then.
yeah. I mean, I mean, like, I gotta tell you, like, my most obscure, like, the most obscure, like, pop culture and media knowledge that I have.
Let's hear it.
There were spin-offs of Whose Line Is It Anyways that didn't do too well.
There was spin-offs?
There were, okay, now let me be honest with you. I say there were spin-offs, but basically it was the same cast and I would assume the same crew that made these things happen.
Yeah.
But there was the green screen show with Drew Carey, which is basically like, I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, and that was primarily the same cast of people who were on Whose Line Is It Anyways.
I was trying to watch that.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was, but it was the handsome dude. It was a handsome dude in Whose Line It always like guest appeared. That it was at a guest appearance. I can't remember his name. It wasn't Brad Sherwood. It was the other one. He was the younger one of the group. But
the guy who played Batman.
What was that?
The guy who played Batman from Brave and the Bold.
No. That was the Drew Carey show.
Oh, okay, I know that. That's my favorite show.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, the Drew Carey. Okay, so there was a Drew Carey show like that was heavily inspired by improv, and then like you have, well, Whose Line Is It Anyways, right? And then like there was another show that one of the people who were mainstays of that show like did their own spin-off show, but it was like literally a scripted TV show, but they would stop halfway through the episode and be like, "What does the audience think this character should do next?" And like they would do something based on like the response, and then the episode would go from there. It was a really fucking cool concept. I think it lasted 5 episodes.
I would think, because they had no faith in it.
Do you ever think that some shows just weren't made in the right time in the right place?
Yeah. There's a few. Like, I think Alf. No, Alf's at the right time.
No, I think Alf. No, no. If Alf existed now, it would not survive. I think.
I don't know. I kind of like because they stayed in their time. Even if it's a few episodes. Like, what do you think? Do you have a show?
Jeez, I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I think maybe if they made Berserk today, it would be different.
I agree, yeah. I agree with that. You're talking about the anime, right?
Not Berserk.
You're talking about the anime, right?
Yeah, the anime. Maybe they can make it good for once. Not just the manga.
What do you think if they were to retell a story? If they were to retell a story like any anime story, whether it's already been whether it's already been made into an anime or it hasn't been made into an anime yet, or the manga's only released or so on and so forth. If there could be a retelling of any anime, which one should it be?
This sounds cliche, but Dragon Ball Z, if Kakarot never got his head hit. Watch Totally Not Mark talk about it, but I have some different ideas for it.
What are your ideas?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. You'll probably just learn to love over time. Maybe kill a few people.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't even think of anything. There's a few things that they probably reimagine like the way it looks and maybe turn like Goku into like an ape every time you transform, like a lot of people do.
I mean, I think also like I'm gonna sound really cliche from your side because you think what you said is cliche. I'm gonna sound like every other Jump fan. I'm gonna sound like every other Jump fan who's ever said these words, but it's the truth. I would like the power levels to be rounded out.
Oh please, yeah, I know that.
I would like.
I would like them to keep up with Goku.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want there to be like actually a cap, and it's just at this point it's just skill. It's not even about like getting to the next level. It's just skill and power.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I would like to see Krillin fighting again.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe make a new transformation that doesn't have different hair.
Alright, I hate to say it, I kind of like that.
Beast mode is okay. Beast mode is perfect.
It is, yeah.
I like beast mode. I like beast mode. I need to watch it. I need to keep up with Super, but I like the way beast mode looks. I like Orange Piccolo because Piccolo gets to do something again.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like Tien to do something again. I would like Yamcha not to blow up. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit.
Alright.
But
You know what's
but with
funny?
their power scaling, that's they can destroy gods. That's like then if you have too many strong people, then what's the point about having two strong? Like even having doing anything.
It comes back to we watched we watched Elimination Chamber where we watched history being made. Me and my sister-in-law. I guess like we're gonna timestamp this anime. I watched this anime. Yeah, we're gonna timestamp this podcast. And then I will say that like a few weeks ago we watched Elimination Chamber and we witnessed history being made where John Cena turned heel and like
Yeah.
changed the whole wrestling landscape again for the first time in like a long time, which was it was already changed, but then it's like it's all different now because it's like, whoa, what are we gonna do next? But anyways, what I'm trying to say is like me, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
No, sorry, me and my sister-in-law, our friend, and my wife. We were all sitting down watching this right. We watched John
Yeah.
Cena win the match and so on and so forth. And I mentioned this before he turned heel. I was just like, guys, ECW had a really good thing going for it, and that was like make your champion insanely strong and have him be like ridiculously good in every
Yeah.
situation, and then when somebody does beat him, it will be a big deal because he beat like the guy who's like unbeatable. So I mean, they
Yes.
did that with Roman Reigns, and like they're doing it with Cody right now, and like I can only imagine that the next person at the belt is gonna do the same thing, whether it be John Cena or not, because it's too hard to call right now. I can't fantasy book the hell out of this. I want to say like I know like okay I know where this is going, but I don't. And I don't think anyone does
Yeah.
for that matter. It's not like okay, insider secret or something like that. But it's like it's hard. It's like there's too many good opportunities to take in this situation. You know what I mean?
There's, I heard some rumors about Stone Cold showing up. I'm just literally getting back into it. I've literally just watched one Monday Night Raw, and that was it.
Yeah,
Since
and
13, 15 years.
so you know what I'm talking about. Well, you see, that's what I'm talking about because like it would take in anime, right? Like if we have Goku and we have Goku and we have like Vegeta and we have all these characters who are like destroying gods, and we're being told how
Yeah.
scary and powerful they are, but they're beating them within like 3 episodes.
Hmm.
That's my problem because I feel like we need to build up someone who's like insanely scary and terrible and like probably will kill us all, versus like the main character, the
Yeah.
person we're following, is actually gonna have to try really hard to beat this person because we watched that person from the
Hmm.
beginning all the way to now become really strong and really skilled.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the anime that I like. Like that's what I would like out of Dragon Ball more than anything else.
Yeah, I would like that too.
I would like to
Uh,
like if they start from square one and be like, okay, like look, you're just gonna learn how to go Super Saiyan, and like
mhm.
you said, like learn how to go ape and like not always go to ape, but like learn how to control the ape, and then like then from there, Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, God mode, Ultra Instinct, etc. Then we could just slowly build up to those steps.
Yeah. There has there been a big bad lately in any anime that makes you go like, wow.
Damn it, who's that? You see this what I'm
I
talking
would
about?
like to know. I would like to know some recommendations so I can watch it.
Oh
So,
god, who's that guy in One Piece? He turns into a giant. Luffy, he one shot at Luffy. I forget his name.
Don Flamingo.
Wait, say his name. What was that?
Don Flamingo.
No,
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 not
no,
Don
no, no,
Flamingo.
no. The Ba or something. Boss. No.
I gotta watch it.
It was Big Ma's brother. I forget his name.
I haven't watched it, man.
The fuck was his name? Hold on.
But yeah, I would like to. I would like to watch a good anime like that again. Like
Yeah.
seeing Vegeta whooping Goku's ass, and you don't know what's gonna happen because he died before. That was nice.
Yeah, that was cool. As I'm saying, I'm like, look, that was great. And I mean, like, look, I got to this. I really appreciated in Super where it was just Vegeta willfully became a god because like he wanted it more than Goku. Like I loved that idea.
Oh yeah. Thanks for the spoilers.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I don't care. I already know like all their transformations. It doesn't matter to me. I gotta just keep up with it.
Oh,
But
my bad.
Yeah, Vegeta's I think better written most of the time, but I love Goku because it's Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 is my all-time favorite. The pink fur is perfect
Yes, I like that too.
with his colors. I think it's one of the best transformations ever in all of anime.
Yeah. Let me ask you
He's
this,
my main on
because
Sparking. He's my main on Sparking
nice.
Blast.
But let
It's
me.
just so cool.
It is. It is.
It's one of the coolest transformations ever. Also, I like monkeys because they look cool. Donkey Kong is my favorite video game of all time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, one of my students said to me today he's always wanted to own a monkey, and I was like, bro, hopefully someday that'll just be a normal thing.
Yes.
We just walk around. You could take my house, you could take my car, you could take my money, but not my monkey.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Give it
Also, so
cacks.
we talked. I saw earlier today that you remixed or reposted the video of my hot take on The Godfather, and you had a hot take on the Titanic. What's your biggest hot
The
take?
Titanic sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
It
Go ahead.
sucks.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
was a
Tell
one
me.
night stand. It was just a one night stand. She fell in love, and she still thought about it 65 years later. I don't know how long, but
And
it
she
was.
also had, and like, I got to tell you the truth. The fucked part is like she had a whole life after the fact.
Yeah.
She had a one night stand, and
Oh.
she had a whole life to live, and like she had like kids and grandkids, and like kids, their grandkids
Yes.
had kids. Like she lived a very full freaking life until she got to the end of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And then she killed their inheritance by throwing it into the sea.
Yep. Yep.
It's funny. It's funny. But
I
The
got.
Godfather, I haven't watched at all. I have never seen any of them, but I played the games. Super fun.
Alright, like, I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of people saying this. Like, I know I'm not trying to be an edgelord either. I know I'm gonna piss people off. Because, again, it wasn't until I watched that episode of Family Guy where, like, Peter Outright said, I did not care for The Godfather. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm not crazy.
You're not.
But, like, the thing is this, like, it does insist on itself. And I know, and to give anybody an explanation about what that actually means, I think what Peter's trying to say, and I might be reading too deep into this, I'm not saying like, oh, I understand Peter Griffin, but like what I'm saying is like, no, I get what he's saying because it's just like, it insistently tries to be the best movie of all fucking time.
Yeah, just look at it. I think after every scene, like, good scene,
Yeah, like,
good scene.
yeah. Did you see that dialogue?
I guarantee, I guarantee that's gonna be a Family Guy sketch pretty soon.
No, I know. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, all right, so like, you never seen any of them, but like, what do you know of the Godfather movies though?
I played the game. I remember. Don't get the gun, take the cannoli. Keep leave the gun, take the cannoli. I know the cutting the head's horse off. The horse's head's off, and then put it in the bed, and the guy screams, "Ah!" Family Guy, all that shit. The game, no, in the video game, it's super fun.
I want somebody to animate. I want somebody to animate everything you just how you described, like the Godfather in a
Yeah,
nutshell. Like just like it's like the horse's head at the bedside, and he's not really he's just mildly displeased. Like, oh God, ah,
not again. Something like, oh no, Polly.
oh my
Eh.
God, that is a horse in my bed. What am I gonna
Yes,
do?
All the Family Guy episode. I just don't think they like The Godfather.
Yeah, no, I just not like listen. I gotta tell you the truth. I also have a different stake in the game because my brother watched all those movies back to back, like all three in a row in like under a day. And by all means, I sat there and watched it with him. And when I mean I sat down and watched it with him, I mean I was playing Halo 3 and I was watching him watch the movies, and he was glued.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, after that happened, I swear to God, it was a ripple effect in my existence because after that, I could not stop hearing about The Godfather and how great of a movie it was. And I'm not saying like, okay, I hate the people who liked it by any means. I just
Mhm.
I tried to like it, and the people who were around me really loved that freaking movie, and I said, okay, I'll like it too because like everybody else around me likes it, so I'll give it a shot. And I still don't feel anything when I watch those movies.
I'm the same way. I can't watch them. None's driving me to.
Yeah, not like
To be
I gotta
honest.
tell you the truth. Like, look, I have all these VHS tapes and DVDs and stuff like that. I don't have The Godfather anywhere, and it's a collector's item and stuff like that. I still don't care.
Look, I'm gonna say that about Star Wars too.
Really?
I love Star Wars. I don't know. I can't watch the original ones. I'm just too lazy to. Or any of the Star Wars movies. I tried watching new ones, turned me off. But the games, the the games are some of my favorite games.
Of course.
What else?
Knights of the Old Republic was amazing.
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic's one of the best games ever.
That's no, that game is not. That game is like so
I,
like
I, I cry because there's no game like that.
yeah.
Mass Effect, but Mass Effect comes close.
There's also that other game that came out that was like on the Mink, that was based on the Mink Dynasty.
Oh
Jade
yeah, something like Jade something. No, that's
Jade Dynasty, the Jade Dynasty or something like that. No, no, no. I forget what it was called,
Jade
but that
Dynasty. Like Jade Dynasty is like that too. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but like that. I forget what it's called, but like that, those games were incredible. I remember watching my brother play those games. Actually, those were really cool.
Yeah. If you like, there's a lot of control. You felt like you were doing everything.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I also like that actually as that game progressed, you could actually learn other people's styles as you beat them. Like you have to beat the person to actually learn how to fight like them.
Yeah. It says your mic's muted. No, it's gone. My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I heard you. I heard everything. Okay. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad.
I got nothing else.
But yeah, those games were amazing. Halo 3 was good. I can't lie about that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I didn't say that a lot.
You know, it's funny. I have my favorite games of all time, but I feel wrong not putting Halo 3 at number one. But at the same time,
No, I hadn't. Halo 3 is not on the list.
no, Halo
Good
3 is
game though.
like no, it's a good game. It's not my number one though. But I say what I'm going to say. But like that, I have a lot of sentimental value to that game because,
Multiplayer.
geez, when did it come out? 06? 05?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Multiplayer was the best.
yeah, so I think I consistently played that game from like 05, 06, all the way into 08, 09.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I mean,
I just
yeah, that was like literally every day. I was just glued. I was obsessed with that game and everything it had to offer.
got a confession. I didn't play it that much because I was playing Dead or Alive 4.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, I gotta tell you the truth. That's the fucked up part about what I just said. Like, there were good games coming out. I just didn't want to play them because I was a fanboy for Halo 3.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but yeah, I ditched everybody for Dead or Alive.
That game
To
was
be
sick.
honest with you,
That game was sick. Which one?
uh, Dead or Alive 3 or it was on Xbox 360. I think it was
I,
4.
yeah, it was 4. It was 4, yeah. Because Soul Calibur 4 came out to 360 as well.
Oh yeah. It was 4. Yeah, I played the shit out of that
Yeah.
because I actually met one of my best friends on there. Hi, Dominic. He I'm gonna show him about it. I'm gonna tell him about it. But yeah, he got me into fighting games, and I ditched everybody for him. He was like,
Um,
he's
I
still on my
just,
Mount Rushmore to beat on every fighting. I have like 4 people I have to beat so far to beat. I actually feel like I'm actually good at fighting games.
who's the 4 people?
Dominic, Tom, Rick, and my cousin Jimmy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're on my Mount Rushmore for revenge.
Mount Rushmore Revenge. Yes. So, talking about Mount Rushmore as a fighting games, if there was a Mount Rushmore for fighting games, what would it be?
For me, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is one of the best. I love it. Oh, man, 4 more. Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Easily, yeah.
Oh, I remember it was the 4th one. Did I have a 4th one?
There's an obvious
I'm
one.
not gonna say that.
There's an obvious one.
Mm.
I don't blame you if you don't pick it.
What's your obvious one? I got.
I mean, Mortal Kombat's gonna be on there somewhere.
I didn't want to put Mortal Kombat because I didn't really play it that much, so that's not my game. But it's on. It's on.
That's why actually like it's according to you. But I'm like saying like, if it was me, I would probably pick the same games. But I didn't play like, the second one you picked. I never played the second one you picked. But I think for me it would be Tekken.
Oh yeah, Tekken. Oh my god, you got it. We gotta play it. I want to whip your ass.
Up there. I mean, you're gonna call me crazy. I mean, let's say what you want, but like, I feel like if they took it a step further, Injustice could be a really good fighting game.
Oh, Injustice is really fun. Injustice 2, I don't know, but I really love the Injustice games. They should never stop making them.
The comics,
You got it?
the comics were incredible. I had the games, like I don't have them anymore, but yeah, I had the Injustice games.
Oh yeah, they're still good. They're cute. One's like $3 right now. Why don't you buy it? I can whoop your ass on.
Yeah, I can get it again. But
yeah, get it again. Come on, I'll teach you how to play.
Yeah, the Injustice comics. Did you read those?
No, I seen a few here and there, but I think they did a good job. They really changed the world.
I gotta tell you the truth. I gotta tell you the truth. I just started reading comics in my life when those comics came out. Those were really good comics.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they changed the landscape for the whole canon and stuff for them. Like it showed what you can do.
Yeah, I think also after the game had ended and like the series had ended, the comic kept going.
Yeah, it
And
did.
I think the idea was that the comic was gonna like sink into it was gonna sink into like Injustice 3, but I don't think Injustice 3 is gonna happen.
Uh, I, if they do, they just gotta do it better because Mortal Kombat's not good right now.
I
It's getting
want
better.
I want like a gritty, dirty, like people could actually die Injustice game. Not
Yeah,
like
I
okay,
will.
not like okay, you die off screen like okay, I just knocked you out, like okay, you're dead, you're done. I'm talking like I want them to have finishing moves. I want them to actually like I want to see like full fledged blood. I want to see blood. I want to see sweat. I want to see tears.
Well, now they're letting everything happen. They got James. They got James Gunn directing, so anything's possible.
That's true too. You're gonna see Superman when it comes out.
I, yes. Why
Yeah,
not? It's James Gunn. James Gunn knows what he's doing. I gotta watch Creature Commandos. That's next, but he knows what the fuck he's doing.
yeah. I want to
And
watch Creature Commandos too because I heard it's really good, especially as voice acting goes.
oh yeah, I follow one of the artists for them.
Oh
I'll show
really?
you later, but yeah. But I'm just telling you, he's James Gunn knows what he's doing. To be honest with you, I'm not a big DC fan nowadays, but as long as we don't have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, I heard she did good in the first movie, but yep. I still want Ben Affleck to be Batman.
Yeah, I feel like we never. I feel like we were robbed of like a Ben Affleck Batman solo film. We were robbed.
But we didn't need, we at least need one.
Yeah, like we were
Just
robbed. That should have happened.
yeah. Excuse me. Everyone hates him, but no one gave him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna sound crazy when we're to say, but I'm fully behind it. Just because like I know people were just like okay he wasn't a good Batman, he wasn't a good Batman, but I'm like all right, but like
Yeah.
we let so many other things happen where it was like all right.
Wonder Woman.
Like Wonder Woman, the first movie, masterpiece. I'd watch that over and over again. 80, not 84. That movie was not good.
I gotta watch it.
That movie was
I
not
gotta
good.
watch it.
It was not good. I'm telling you right now. I'm not trying to spoil it for you. I mean, watch it, but for me, it was not good.
Oh, okay.
Was it the worst movie I've ever seen? By no means. It was not the worst movie I've ever seen. But was it still was it what could it have been better? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like a Teen Titans movie.
Oh my God, yes, yes. They're not gonna do that.
No, it's not gonna happen. I would like a Teen Titans movie. I would like a standalone Robin movie and a standalone Nightwing movie.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait.
but like if it was me, right, I would have it where
Mm-hmm.
it's like a series where like imagine season one, right,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like
Yeah.
episode 1 Beast Boy, episode 2 Raven, episode 3 Robin, episode 4 Starfire, episode 5 Cyborg,
Yeah.
and then episode 5 not Slade, Deathstroke. And then
Mm-hmm.
from 5 all the way to like let's just say it's a 12 episode series, so the next 6 episodes is just the
Yeah.
actual story, and at the end of the story
Wait.
actually is the actual movie.
Mhm. Well, didn't they have a Teen Titans TV show?
That I mean, yeah, that show. That's what got me into. That show is what got me
Mm-hmm.
into the Teen Titans. Like that show is what got me into Teen Titans. Like many other
I
people.
thought the cartoon did. I thought the cartoon did.
No, the cartoon. No, the cartoon. No, the live action. I'm saying the cartoon got me into. The cartoon got me into Teen Titans.
Oh,
The live action
okay.
series. Live action series. I watched 2 episodes and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was bored. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was bored. I'm sick and tired of hearing like, oh, get past the first 3 episodes. I can't do it.
I I said that with the Flash.
Okay. The Flash lost me after the crossover episode with Arrow.
Oh yeah, there was a crossover episode. I forgot.
Look,
Nor
let
did
me
I
tell you what's
care.
even more messed up. Let me tell you what's even more messed up. I didn't realize until I actually had watched it. Because I was just like, okay, I'll watch The Flash until I get to the crossover episode with Arrow. Then I'll jump to Arrow and watch till I get to the crossover episode with The Flash. There's like a 50 episode difference.
50 episodes?
I'm maybe being dramatic, but like the margin between like when you get the crossover for The Flash, you get the crossover for Arrow is like huge.
Jesus Christ. Well, did not know that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I got bored of it really quickly.
I'd rather just watch Power Rangers.
Yeah, same. I agree. I could always watch Power Rangers. Speaking of Power Rangers, You know, we got like, let's call it like 3 minutes left. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's almost like 9:50 my time. Uh, you have anything you want to sign off with before we go?
Uh, just I don't know. What do we have to talk about? Like, what do you have in mind? I was just saying, have a great day. Hope things get better. And if you're watching, hi. We hope you would tune in, subscribe, and talk about us because we want to get semi-famous and look cool.
Yeah, I think more or less, I think more or less like what I want to say is like keep watching, keep
Yes.
running, keep learning, keep training,
Yes.
and also like listen to bad audio once in a while.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Listen
Yeah,
to
I
bad
got
audio.
something now. I got some. You know what? We want you to keep dreaming, keep listening, keep talking, and once in a while, turn on the Bad Audio Basement Show. We're here to talk with you.
All right, wait, I like that. Keep listening, keep learning, keep training. Listen to Bad Audio Basement. Listen to the Bad Audio Basement show. I like that. Oh wait,
We're still working on it.
what was that thing you said a few weeks ago on my birthday? No, you like last week. You said something on my birthday. You called me for my birthday. By the way, thank you for that. And you said like I said like oh people really need to like have outlets. Not like people need like a creative outlet, and people need to like
Yeah.
what you said something. You were just like you said something like really cool, and I was like I want that on a shirt. I can't remember what it was.
Fuck. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out and put it on merch if we ever get that far.
Yeah, it was like demonstrate or it was like no, it wasn't demonstrate. It was like express yourself before
Express
you wreck
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, express
Yes.
yourself before you wreck.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna timestamp that. No one can take that from us.
Okay, got
Now
it.
you watch this. We're going to Etsy. There's about like 9 shirts that say that.
Okay, I guarantee it.
Guaranteed.
Lots of
Guaranteed. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Have a good night. God bless. Bye.